it's time to go to work.
Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, gone, clock in, gone, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, go defense, gone defense, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas doomsday. Time to go to work. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eating. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, gone, clock in, gone, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchman coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in, gone, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work, yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone, clock in. They say, defense wins championships. We're here in Dallas. We got a top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them. Go to work. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See my defense, they on the field right now. Yeah, my defense, they yelling 3 and now. Yeah, my defense, they don't like your quarterback. So my defense, all trying to get them sacks. With the ball in the air, secondary go to work. Byron Jones, he be there, he be lying, he be lurking. If you get past him, Jeff Heath gon' hurt him. Put the ball down, go ahead and run it. I got a hot front four when they coming. Plus we got the best linebacker duo in the whole NFL. We the hot boys sizzling on fire, come to give your team hell. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Go defense, defense, go defense, defense, gone defense, defense, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. I know I said at the beginning of this track, man, that we had like a top 10 or like a top 5. Hot boys gearing up to be triple D, you know what I'm saying? Clock Dallas Doomsday defense. Listen what the hot boys tell them, man. Defense, put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eat me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eatin'. Put me in, coach. Yeah, we all hard hitters. Yeah, I smell fresh meat. Yeah, we all eatin'. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See the star on the field, you gon' meet D-Law. Thinking you an outlaw, we sending the predator. Jalen Smith scoop up the whole field, so how you gon' play here, bruh? If you release your dogs, we got a wolf hunter. LVE, tackling Dutchmen coming. If you hungry and trying to eat like Zeke, we'll send in a taco to sweep you off your feet. Now you deep in the woods, plus we got a couple Collins. They say time and pressure make diamonds, the hot boys shining. Clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. See, clock in, yeah, it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, gone clock in, clock in, clock in. Yeah, it's time to go to work. Top 10. When the hot boys hit the field, this is what we tell them. Listen what we tell them. This is what we tell them.
Thank you for watching West Coast. This is Antoine Woods.
Thanks for watching West Coast. Go Cowboys.
This is Ray Williams. Thank you so much for hanging out with us with Dallas Cowboy Scout.
Appreciate
My
you.
man West Coast in this buck.
Thank you for watching West Coast.
Shout out West Coast Cowboys. You know it's always love over here. Raider, Cowboy, always a Cowboy.
Did one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys? Yeah!
What's up with you guys? It is your boy West Coast, man, and we are live in the building. How are you guys doing on this Thursday? This Thursday night, I know you guys could be watching two bum teams play, but you are here rocking with your boy West Coast and Boss Cowboys. So we appreciate you for rocking in with us. What up with you, Dakota, man? I see you. What up with you, Paul? I see you. What up with you, Willie? What up with you, man? I see you, man. If you can hear me loud and clear, let me know you can hear me loud and clear, man. Hey, I got my Cowboy cousin on the line. What's up with you, Boss Cowboy?
Man, what's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Ready to get this show going, ready to have a good show and talk about these Dallas Cowboys. Man, I'm going to tell you this right now, man. This week came by fast, right?
Why? Yeah, because you traveled. That's why.
Bruh, it's Thursday already.
Yeah, you traveled, man, and then it was a Sunday night game. We did a show together Monday, so that gave us an artificial day, like you was actually in Cali, but you actually, touched down Tuesday. Obviously, you needed a break. Spend time with the fam, catch up with the kids. Yeah, we already here, brother. Facts.
Wow, man, that's crazy. But I almost, a part of me almost loves it because it almost feels like I was just at one game. Now we get to go to a whole nother game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's amazing. So
Right on.
hey,
Yeah, because it went by fast. Sure.
It sure did, man. Hey, I want to let you guys know this weekend I will be in the crib. I'll be at the crib, so we'll have our standard watch along show. If you want to come watch along with us this week. Last time I did it, we had over 1,000 people watching live, man, and we had a great time, and we won the game. So let's try to bring that same energy if we can. We're gonna talk about these Detroit Lions. Before we talk about these Detroit Lions, man, we're going to talk about this injury report, injury update. Talk about some stuff that some people that are going to be playing, some people that might not be playing. Now, you guys already know how we do our injury report. I'll talk about the player. I'll tell you what's going on with the player, and we can kind of talk about any contingency plan that the Dallas Cowboys need to put together. And then we'll kind of go back off. We'll kind of feed back and forth off of that. You know what I'm saying? I know some folks want to talk about that Minnesota game, but it is Thursday. Let it go. Because you ain't got no choice. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? The best thing you can do for your team right now is to focus on the Detroit Lions because that's what they're doing right now. All right, so this is the injury report. La'el Collins was absent from practice, but it looks like he might have returned. Don't know if he's actually injured or what's going on in him. You have a lot of guys right now that are taking, not necessarily taking, during the season, just like you have events that happen in your life, some things may happen every now and then. These guys have things in their life where they have to pull away for a day or so. So I'm not gonna say that it was an injury. I'm just gonna say that he wasn't, he was absent at practice. Jeff Heath is out. It's being reported that Jeff Heath is gonna be out on Sunday.
I didn't mean to do that.
Crazy and cat piss. Like my grandma said, man, you crazy than cat piss. Man, I thought you and Jeff Heath got a love-hate relationship because you.
Man, I love Jeff Heath, man, but I love Jeff Heath on a bitch.
Hey, Bob Cowboy, remember that old Outkast album? He said, "What that boy Cap, man? I thought that was your boy. I thought that was your boy."
Hey, man, listen, man. Just sometimes your prayers get answered in different ways. I mean, listen, nobody want to ever be happy that a guy's injured. It's just that you want to also see guys that you feel like are more deserving get their fair chance because it's really at the end of the day about the best man on the field. So obviously we wish him a slow recovery, but we do want him to recover.
You wish him a fast recovery.
No, bro, I said exactly what I meant, a slow recovery. See, I want him to recover by the time he's a free agent.
You wrong for that. Hey, man.
I'm wrong.
If you agree with this madness, give me a share.
Because you know what's going to happen if he comes back healthy. You know what's going to happen. We need as much film on my boy Thompson and Wilson as possible so the crowd can get behind them, bro. I'm just being honest, man. Don't shoot me, but I want to see all the film I can on the guys we've been calling for, Wilson and Thompson.
Yeah, man. I dropped a video today, man, and you guys really supported it. I dropped it on Instagram. You guys supported it. I dropped it on Facebook, and you guys supported it. I got to put it on YouTube, man. But, yeah, and I was talking about that exact same thing, man. We got 44 people on here. 1, 2, 3, share. Y'all know the drill. Hey, man, my video was pretty much just like this, man. I was like, dear baby Jesus in a manger, looking all cute. You know what I'm saying? Looking all cute in the manger. It's right about, it's almost Christmas time, Lord, please let them play my boy DT and my boy Donovan Wilson. Like, honestly, Donovan Wilson is a thumper. You know what I'm saying? I love the way, and y'all know how much love I got for Donovan Wilson because y'all know how much I love interceptions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And like, I love me some interception. Like, that's meatloaf. You know what I'm talking about? Like, ain't nothing in the world better than an interception and running that. You take it. It's just a good feeling.
Meatloaf.
Ooh. Boy, that's that meatloaf, bro, because you ain't even supposed to have it. Like, the meatloaf is like when you had a hard day and your wife say, man, what you eat? And she like, yeah, I'm going to make some chicken. You be like, man, I don't want no chicken, man. We had chicken. No, I don't want no chicken. You know what I'm saying? And you come home and it's meatloaf, and you like,
Meatloaf in Texas is like eggs for breakfast though, so you know.
bruh, I don't know. Yeah, you ain't my wife. It's man, woo. But I'm just saying, it's like that. It's that surprise that, and especially when your offense is able to capitalize on it. Like, you see how much I'm supposed to be talking about this, and I didn't went on this long tangent. Why? Because I love turnovers that much. Like, I just love them. You know what I'm saying? And Donovan Wilson, man, this dude been getting interceptions since he was in his 10th grade. I got a video right now in his 10th grade, and he looked like the same Donovan Wilson. He just got a little afro, just look young. And he's standing there. This dude set the state record, man. State record in interceptions in one game. 5 interceptions in one game. Like I'm gonna be honest with you, bro.
If Wilson get in the game and get a pick, he is not coming back out, bro.
At any level, that's hard, bro. 5 interceptions.
Yeah, that's.
You know what I'm saying? And then the thing about it is, it's like, not only does he get 5 interceptions in 10th grade, but then he carries that into Texas and into Texas A&M, and then he's showing those same similar traits in the pros. You know what that means? Bruh, he's an interception guy. If you go look at Shaq, he couldn't shoot free throws at LSU, in high school, the Lakers, or the goddamn Orlando. And guess what? That's what it is. This guy can, you know, man, some people just have it in their DNA, man. And this guy got it, man. He got it. So, you know, I mean,
so do you actually think he's gonna play? Because I haven't witnessed not even a hint of playing time with this guy. It's like, you know, I'm not mad at Thompson, because Thompson, he's great on run support, especially on short downs. He's doing his thing. You know what the Cowboys kind of remind me of, Boss Cowboy, and I know you kind of remembered it. Like, when back in the day when we was going to football, like, there was always this rule, right? And that is, if you're a freshman, you can't play, no matter how good you are. And I'm gonna tell you, my boy Dante Jackson, he cut my hair. Y'all know y'all talk about him. I talk about him, you know, a lot, because he's one of the best players I ever seen with my eyes. The best player I ever played with, and he broke that rule at Eisenhower High School. You know what I'm saying? Because he was just that dominant. But like, when we went there, man, it was no, you a freshman, I don't care how good you are, you're not playing. And some colleges have that mentality. But I'm going to tell you, these newer schools like the Ohio States and stuff like that, that's what they really did to really set the world ablaze, is what? Letting these young dudes play. And man, I don't care. You could be, and you're starting to see a lot of true freshmen, you know, doing it. And the same thing comes with the NFL. Like, I feel like some teams, they allow their rookies to get out there and do their thing. But the Dallas Cowboys, we've been so used because of, like think about Jalen Smith. We had to wait a year for him to play. Randy Gregory, we almost had to wait a year for him to play. Like, for the most of the year, we're waiting for guys to play anyway. So it's almost feel like, if you're not in that first round right there, then the Dallas Cowboys they're trying to like put you in the incubator. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't see how it benefits Donovan Wilson at all sitting on the bench. I think you're overthinking it, bro. You know, because, I mean, you gave a real good case of the red shirts, right? You talked about the red shirts, and you talked about the freshman year people that never play, you know. But at the end of the day, man, ballers are ballers, and when they show you they got it, you got to give them the opportunity. I'm not even gonna give them even half of a pass for not giving the guy that PFF said was the #1 safety in preseason reps at safety. I just don't get it, especially if we get in control of this game. If we get into control of this game where we have us a real good quality lead, the Dallas Cowboys will be actually very, I would say, committed malpractice and have a special case of negligence if they do not give this man some reps. Because also you should be with this guy? Developing him.
And like, you should be telling him the truth. You're lying to him by having another guy that's not better than him on the field.
Yeah,
like, how
bro.
are they gonna trust? Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that'd be the first like chink in the armor when a player is feeling if an organization is really behind them, or if they really can trust the things that they say by playing time. Like, how can I trust you for my future, and I can't even trust that you put me on the field, and I can clearly see I'm better than this guy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like they're basically making him take on Kayvon Frazier's role, where it's like, you're going to be a really good special teams guy, and if I ever need you to play a little safety, I'll put you back there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let a guy, you know what I'm saying? Xavier Woods, they threw him back out, gave him the opportunity. Why? Because we ain't had no choice. Now you have an opportunity. But I'm gonna tell you something, boss. I'm gonna write that down, man. That's a good point to say, man.
What's that?
If this game gets out of hand and they don't play him,
It's
man,
negligence.
It's something. It's
That's
negligence or there's some
malpractice.
politics, bro. There's something happening.
Yeah, it's like you still hoping he'll come back and you don't want to have film on guys, because we have a bad habit, in my opinion, of putting a thumb on a scale. I'm not happy that he's injured. I'm not rooting for him to be injured, and Heath is who I'm talking about. I just want film on the other guys because I know, just like with Jordan Lewis, when you get film on a guy playing well and it's obvious that he's better than the other guy, the Dallas Cowboy fan base and media and everybody's going to talk about it. And the crowd. And the more they talk about it, you win the crowd, and then you eventually, like Jordan Lewis, win your freedom. Because everybody around the whole DFW and around the world, and from California to MIA to New York to everywhere the Dallas Cowboy fans are, to the media and everybody was asking about Jordan Lewis. But if those guys don't get on the field, we don't get the crowd. So it's like I don't want them to hide Wilson. I want Wilson to get in there, make some noise, make some plays, do exactly what Jordan Lewis did, where he went in there, got an interception, and everybody was like, well, can we stop the politics? Can we stop or whatever reason why this man not on the field? I mean, it's the same thing. So again, I'm not hoping and praying for Heath to stay injured long, but I am.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, that's between you and your God, brother.
Woo! Man, I'll put God in. God forgive.
That's between you and your God, man. If he happy, I just know this. I need my God to play. However the Lord want to do it, I take my blessings. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes you be walking down the Food for Less, and it be a big old puddle of water. Whoa! Thank you, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkle me. You know what I'm saying? Got a little drip. You know what I'm saying? Every time and then, you got to take your blessings however you can get them, man. They didn't put
right on.
In California, that's $250,000. That's all I'm saying, man. You got to take your blessings however they come. But yeah, man. So just give my boy some opportunity. That's all I'm saying. Like, and the thing that the Cowboys need to. They've got to break this monotony, and it goes along with this too, is you see a lot of guys getting playing time because of injury and not because of production. You know what I'm saying? Like Jordan Lewis is only playing because Anthony Brown went down. Darian Thompson is only playing because Xavier Woods couldn't play. You know what I'm saying? Like they're only playing realistically because guys couldn't play, and then they got on the field and was like, no, I'm about to knock everybody's head off. Why? Because if I don't, I'm not coming back on the field. Like, there are guys who understand that and guys who don't. Jordan Lewis understood that. DT understood that. I'm hoping if they give the young Donovan Wilson an opportunity, and I believe he does, because think about, if you go look at those interceptions that he got, bro, they were Earl Thomas-like. What I mean like Earl Thomas-like is Earl Thomas ain't out there, he ain't out there covering dudes and riding their hips down the hole and then jumping the route and taking the ball. No, that's not what he's doing. You know what Earl Thomas is doing? It's waiting for bad footballs. Because out of 40 passes, out of 30 passes, most quarterbacks are going to throw about what? About 10 or 15 that are going to be bad footballs. And he's just hanging around looking for them. Oh, hey, there go one. And he get on his horse. You know what I mean, Boss Cowboy, when they get on that horse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look at the Earl Thomas interceptions against us. Bro, they weren't coverage interceptions. One got bumped off a jar when he went down to the ground. Another one literally was an inch off the ground.
Yeah, they was Wilson type of interceptions.
Yeah, they're the same type of interceptions.
You got to go earn them things. And I'm going to pass it right back to you, man, on the question. Like, it's exactly what you said, but I'm going to ask you, why is that? Like, why does Brown have to have a hamstring injury for us to figure out that Lewis should be the full-time nickel starter? Why does Heath have to have shoulder issues for us to even give Thompson all these plays? Are you hearing anybody rave anything negative about Thompson? So what's going on where it does take injuries for almost like the right guys to play? What's your theory on that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna just keep it 100 with you.
Yeah.
Like, that was a thought that literally just came in my head right now as I was talking. So I'm gonna process the thought, and I'll be able to give a more informative answer. But like right off, like literally, you took a right off the top thought off my head. Now you want me to give a reason for it. I mean, I don't know, bro, because like,
yeah, bro, because I've never in the history of this show, I've never even heard you stuck. I've never one time watched you get stuck in thought, bro, because it's something that doesn't make sense, bro. It's like literally, like that's why I wanted to throw the question back at you, because it's like, did I just hear what he just said, that it took the hamstring injury from Brown and it took the shoulders from Jeff Heats to start having issues to finally see guys that's making plays. And just one more question for you, West Coast. Since the change, have you had any complaints in either position? Even one? Have you had one complaint? At the nickel, at the safety. Have you had one complaint?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell you what actually has happened now. Now, I mean, we got 50 people. Hey man, I need everybody to share. I need everybody to share. Okay, everybody shared? Okay, everybody shared. Because I'm gonna tell you what's happened now. Now that Jordan Lewis is on the field, the position that they normally picked on was the slot, right? That was Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown's not on the field anymore.
That's true. Right? That's true.
Anthony Brown was on the field. Man, I hate to do this to the homie though.
I mean,
it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
When Anthony Brown was on the field, Cheetah Bell-Bouzier looked better. You want to know why? Because they weren't targeting him as much.
Right.
Now he's not on the field. They have Jordan Lewis in that role, and quarterbacks don't want to throw at Jordan Lewis. Or even if they subliminally say we're not going to throw at him, they're not doing it. You know what I'm saying?
They did try him, and he made the play.
They did try him. You know what I'm saying? And people know the pedigree. Like, there's certain, people know the pedigree of Jordan Lewis. Like, I think he's one of those names that's well respected around the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So, and his play is conducive that he's a dog, and he, you know what I'm saying, that those interceptions and that picking the ball up, that's a guy who's always engaged in the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you would always want you. So I come to say all this, like, because
you
of
still
that,
thinking?
No, I mean, I know it. I'm just trying to say it the right way. You know what I'm saying?
I said, because see, this is the truth. I'm going to just be honest with you. I kicked it in the club with some of these guys with West Coast. It's sometimes hard to say what you got to say when these boys are your friends. What's now happened is ever since Anthony Brown has left the field, a new target has emerged. And that new target, bless his heart, is Cheeto.
It's Cheeto.
And that's not throwing him away. It's just basically just being honest on the assessment of what happens. Because any offense is going to do that, right? They're going to identify, especially on passing downs, who's the likely matchup that we're going to win against. And it's by pecking order. The old pecking order was obviously who? Anthony Brown. You can't do that anymore because you got a lockdown nickel. You got a lockdown nickel. And when you try it, or even when you look over there, you like, I can't throw the Jordan Lewis side because he's covered. So your next read is going to be Cheeto. And then you throwing it. So
and Byron Jones was not all pro. Take that back. He was a Pro Bowler. There's a difference. He's a Pro Bowler last year. So you're not going to necessarily, if you got Jordan Lewis on there, and then Jordan Lewis has been heralded as the Dallas Cowboys' best cornerback. So it doesn't matter what the stats say. It's about when you play our team, you rank those cornerbacks. Where's Jordan Lewis on your thing? If he's number one, he's going to also be the number one guy you're going to stay away from.
Right. Let me say something real quick.
He's the best cornerback in the league. It just means when you play him, he's the best cornerback on the field.
Real quick, It's amazing. My boy BJ on my page, and then I'm looking at Sam on your page, right?
Man, y'all sharing, man? Let me know y'all sharing, man.
Both of them said at the exact same time, bro, Cheeto need to turn his head.
Yeah.
So it's like, when you got two people, two different places, both saying the same thing, that's confirmation. Right.
I'm gonna tell you this too, bro. At this level of the game, if you're not turning your head in the NFL, bro, you're not gonna do it, bro. I'm sorry. If you can, like Shaq got better shooting free throws, but he was never good. You know what I'm saying? Because, bro, you didn't have maybe 9 DB codes since now, and you're still doing that. It ain't no coach in the NFL gonna coach that out of you, bro. You'll be able to remember it every now and then. But bro, like there's just some like let's just keep it real, bro. Like I can't teach you to turn. I can't. And it's not. And this is the thing about it, right? I can't teach you to turn your head around. You want to know why? Because you got to turn your head around. Like this isn't a spelling test. You know what I'm saying? Like
right on.
You gotta. It's muscle memory. And guess what? You don't have it. You don't have the muscle memory there.
Yeah, and
like you may have it in 15. Like if you play, let's put it like this: if you did it not 10 years to get to the NFL wrong, it's gonna take at least 12 years of doing it right before you really master it.
Right.
Because your muscle memory says don't turn the ball, and guess what? And the worst part about it, before I let you go, boss.
Yeah.
When you win doing the wrong techniques, my coach used to hate that crap. And that is when you literally look like a good corner on film, but you don't even turn your head around. Like, you know what I'm saying? But you can compensate with your athleticism. Like Anthony Brown, the reason why he looked good at his pro day and somewhat in the SEC, you want to tell you why? Because he was so fast. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of times when you don't turn around, you can just get on your horse and get in front of the dude. And that's what Anthony Brown did.
And I think what's actually going on, so you play corner, I play corner. I think they being coached to do that because it's almost like what happened. Yeah.
We need Ronnie Braxton on here, man. We need
I really believe that, man, because it's different philosophies. It's people that want you to basically wait till their eyes get big. I had a coach tell me that and play the ball through their hands. Just like what did Jones tell you when you was at training camp? My job is to keep him from catching it. And you was like, no, your job is bigger than that. I mean, obviously that's part of your job, but your other part of your job is to get the ball, right? Yeah. So I think part of it is that they're being coached. And it's almost exactly like what happened with John Kentner with Dak, right? Everybody know Dak mama told him to protect the football.
Protect the ball.
We won games with that, but we wasn't as explosive with that mentality, right?
And when you're on a really bad team, you need, and think about this, and it makes sense too, boss, because in the SEC, bro, you're playing against these ridiculous teams. So if you turn the ball over being Mississippi State one time, bro, the game's over.
Yeah. But then you get a new coach. And the coach comes in here and say, hey, we know exactly what your mentality is, and actually we like it. But I'm going to tell you, with me as your coach, I want you to let it rip. And guess what?
Go against what you've been taught.
And guess what?
Entire life.
Guess what? If you throw an interception, I'm putting it in the public that I'm the one that told you to let it rip.
Yeah.
So what have Dak been doing since? He been letting it rip. So it's the same thing. I told that whole story to go to corner. It's almost like Christian Shaw got to tell them, like, man, if them guys make a play on you, I want you to be trying to make bigger plays than them. Yeah. Go out there and be free. Go out there and be athletes. Be Superman. Go for the interceptions. Matter of fact, when you get it, high step to the end zone. Have fun out there. It's different philosophies on how they coach. It's some of them that's coaching, don't let them catch it. Look the ball down, and if you see their eyes get big and their hands go out there, play it through the ball. It's some that say go out there and play, just play. You know what I mean? If you feel like you can make that catch by jumping up at the high point and getting that in, do it. So I'm starting to think it's Christian Shaw at this point, because how does this happen with every one of them?
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie. You know what's crazy? Even I was thinking about that too about a couple weeks ago because. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I saw a time when Jordan Lewis was doing it. And I'm like, wait, my best corner that I'm seeing?
Yeah, Mr. Ball guy.
Like, my best corner has a problem with that at times. That lets me know that someone's either teaching it or they're not teaching it. You know what I'm saying?
When you see the group doing it, point to the coach. If you say individual, point to the individual. But when you see the group doing it, point to the coach. Because that's more than likely what they've been taught. Because everybody doing it. I want to flip one more question to you real quick. Because you said something about the last 2 weeks. When you first said it, I ain't going to lie. I'm being all the way honest with you, West Coast. I almost was like, stop. Slap yourself to yourself. I was going to use your own slogan on you, but since you said it, it's been hanging on my head and it's totally grown on me. What I'm getting ready to say.
Before he said, 65 people on here, man. On the count of 3, man, we're all going to share, right? And hey, some of y'all didn't share the last time because we only have 42 shares already. Let's count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Share. Boom. I hit my share.
Yeah, me too. I just hit mine.
My mama, she loved watching.
Hey, now check this. Now this is real. Now, West Coast been saying for the last 2 weeks, Jordan Lewis is our best corner. I promise I'm gonna say, bro, stop. Right? I always had said he was a little bit under the improvement of Jones. I'm starting to think this man need to be a starting corner on this team. And maybe Cheeto need to be safety. My boy Anthony Turrell said that too on my page. And Ronnie Braxton said that too. Ronnie Braxton, he trained all those guys in the offseason, right? Like work with them individually to get prepared for the Dallas Cowboys. He told me in training camp while they was in Dallas, he said, boss, he said Cheeto is a safety. He will be a safety in 2 years. I said, boy, stop. I said, stop, boy. Don't ever say nothing that's stupid. Because at that time, Cheeto was balling. But now I'm starting to say, you know what? Cheeto might be a better safety. And that's not saying he'll trash corner. It's almost like sometimes you got to go where you best fit. Because we all know this about Cheeto, too. He'll come up and lay that wood. Yeah. He wouldn't be no punk safety. That may not be the best word. He wouldn't be no weak. You know what I mean? He would be the type safety that'll come up there and lay you out, get picks. You can put him in the slot. He'll do okay. He would actually be a good matchup, I believe. And that's not saying he not good. It's just sometimes where are you best? Yeah. I just want to get your thoughts on that.
This is my thing, man. The safety position right now is so crowded. Like I got two dudes. That's what I'm trying to get on the field right now. You know what I'm talking about? Now he wanted me to slide Cheetah Bay and Woozy.
Yeah, because I mean we saw 2017 Lewis on the outside, dude balling. He was on the outside the whole 2017.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Cheeto going to have to figure it out, bro, because I need Cheeto at least at corner one more year next year. Because
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Yeah, let him finish out the year. Yeah, I can see that. So is it in like this? I think we need to get on the Cheeto play safety drawing.
I mean, this is my thing. This is my thing, right? I know I'm walking away from Byron Jones next year. So I don't know why you want to sign Anthony Brown because he's a free agent next year. So you're about to have, like, if you move Cheeto Bay or Woozy to safety, you have one corner.
Yeah, and that does give him 1 year or contract year on a position he's never played with us.
It's like, so the Cowboys, and then, I mean, when we have 53-man roster, 27 dudes is on 1 year contract. So it's like, you really, you know what I'm saying? That's why I kept telling y'all at the beginning of the year, man, this roster going to change again. Hey, this roster going to change again. It's going to go through one more major change, and that's going to be next year. Why? 27? That's half your team, bruh. Half your team. Out of that 27, how many do you think you're going to keep? 17? That means 10 people won't be here next year. That's a lot. That's some noticeable. If you took 10 random people off this team, I guarantee you, 8 of them, you'd be like, damn, man, I liked him. Now, Dalton Schultz, I don't know. You know what I'm talking about? He'd be that 2%. Yeah. Because I don't know why. Let's just be real. Like, we're up here trying to figure out positions and trying to find out how we can get extra guys on this team. And then you got Dalton Schultz just doing what? Like, how is he? Like, I'm going to keep it real. I think I can make an argument for Tristan Hill to be active over Dalton Schultz. Off of sheer position. Off of sheer position. Like, there's like, right now, Tristan Hill is a better pro than Dalton Schultz. I don't care what nobody says. I believe it. I believe it. You know how I feel about Tristan Hill.
Man, I'm going to just say it, man. I never liked
so the Cowboys could definitely, there's depth. Like, when people be like, oh, even when we look out there in free agent, where would you put him at? Or how would you find him? Like, bruh, there's a plethora. I have a line of people, a list of people I'll let you know that we could probably walk away from. You know what I'm saying? All right, man. We kinda,
might be in the doghouse.
I know, right? Hey, we kind of went a little long on that subject, but it's all good, man. We still going to get to this.
Yeah, we're on to the next.
On to the next, man. We appreciate you guys for sharing. Appreciate you guys. Michelle says, would he be a free safety? Because then he'd be a free to do instead of, he'd be a free do instead of a chi do. Oh, my God. You funny. Everybody go like that. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, ha, and a he. Slap yourself. That was funny. All right. Keith says, Witten needs to sit too. Nothing. All right. Well, we ain't going to get in. We ain't talking about Jason Witten tonight. All right. So let's talk about this defensive line from the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, let's do it.
We talk about this defensive line. We got Snacks Harrison up there, a guy who was available to the Dallas Cowboys. I'm a little mad. If Snacks has a good game, and I'm going to be honest with you, for the most part, he's had good games against Dallas Cowboys. Let's just be real. And Fredericks, I don't want nobody blowing my inbox up. So if you want to know how your Fredericks did, because you can't say nothing bad about a man who came back a year early. He ain't had the best game, though, I will say that. You know what I'm saying? And he's been kind of like off and on-ishy. You know what I'm saying? Like where he's like, he'll play real good, and then he'll just be like, bloop. But then he'll play real good. You know what I'm saying? And it's different because I'm not really used to seeing that from Fredericks. Like, I'm not used to seeing Fredericks just, like, looking at Dak. Because if he's looking at Dak, that means he's looking at his man sack Dak. You know what I'm saying? And or you're looking at Dak run for his life. You know what I'm saying? And the offensive lineman can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, and I see a lot of that on film, bruh. So, yes, Fredericks is back. You know what I'm saying? He is. You got Fredericks back. But, but I will say this. If Looney had to play for any reason, I don't think I would be upset. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, man, there's too many times where on film where I see, and I'm gonna tell you the number one thing that I see too about Fredericks is Fredericks can't help Connor at all. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you're relying Connor too much to do one-on-ones, and he's not ready for that. But the thing about it is, if you start a guy on your offensive line who you know is not ready for that, you have to have a contingency plan of like, yo, bro, hey, you're going to chip this dude. Or you want to whip your dude so you can help this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like on that 3rd and 2 play, Travis got his guy semi-good, but Connor just got beat. You know what I'm saying? Travis couldn't do anything. Guess what? Went straight down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's little stuff like that you miss. So, yeah, you know.
And then another thing too, man, when a guy has to have surgery on the knee, but he played the whole game, that also accounts to sometimes what was happening on the running game. I mean, we have to account for that, right? Because we saw when Zach Martin knee was hurting that it also hurt his game, right? Yeah. So we basically had a guy that played all game on a bum knee that was responsible for pushing off on it. And he toughed it out, but actually toughing it out was more than likely the most selfish thing he could have done. Where you trying to stay on the field, tough guy stuff, but at the same time, you hurt. You know you're not 100%, and you know you losing. But you want to play so bad that you like, I'm gonna tough it out. I'm gonna be Mr. Tough Guy. I mean, Williams hurt us with that. And one thing about Xavier Suafulo, hopefully I say his name correct, is he's very inconsistent, right?
He's pretty sometime too.
Yeah, so he's very inconsistent. Like, you can trust him more on run blocking, but once he turns into pass pro,
He's a mauler, bro. He's a mauler.
Yeah, cross your fingers.
He's a big grizzly bear.
Yeah, I love him fresh. Like, fresh, I like him. But going into like 3 games from now, 4 games from now, just like, because, when we scouted him last year, I had a lot of Texas because that's where he came from. And I looked at the Texas intel. I went to my Texas friends, and they was like, bro, just tell Dak to pray. And I was like, really? You were like, yeah. And I, looked at some film, and I was like, yeah, this dude look bad, right? And so I was actually surprised at his game 1 because that's where he tossed Cox. He tossed Cox. He's like, damn, maybe I was wrong. And West Coast, he came on the show. Boss, you said he was going to do bad, but about 3 games,
we got into it before the game on him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it was after that game, too, because he played pretty good the first Philly game. So I think at least this game coming in for Williams, he go hold. I think he go hold pretty good. He been waiting his chance, and then I also really believe that a rising tide is gonna raise our ships. I mean, when you got all pros to your left and another all pro to your right, any man with any kind of heart is gonna refuse to be the weakest link on the line. So when it comes down, and then he's going against Ashawn Robinson, and he's an Alabama second rounder. Yeah, and Trey Flowers is going to be obviously, handled by T. Smith. I mean, I like the matchup, and then they saying that Ashawn is not 100%, so that actually works for us. That works for us greatly. So, and then when you look at the rankings, I mean, Detroit is ranked 28 on pass defense and 26th on rushing defense.
30th total defense to top it off.
Well, that says to me, honestly, the normal boring game plan that we hate more than likely should be the game. See, everybody that said against Minnesota, because you said it, I said it, this ain't the team to run on. We both said that going into the game.
I mean, SK came on here and said that. I mean,
the scouting report, the injury report, and everything says this. Have your way with these guys. Start it off with Zeke. Start it off. See if you can get 5 a pop. If you can get 5 a pop with Zeke, keep doing it. If you start running into walls, because Snacks might be motivated, a resurgence of kind of like that division energy or whatever he used to have with the Giants, abandon it, because you could also throw on these guys, right? But everything about this team says that our balanced offense can do what we want. We can attack them from multiple directions. We should be like a flurry of different punches coming at this team.
Yeah, man, and I mean, I hate saying it, but I mean, it also lets me know that there's an opportunity that the Dallas Cowboys could play bad too. You want to know why? Because this is a bad team. And what typically happens with my Dallas Cowboys, for whatever reason, is whenever we play bad teams, we always play down to their level. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be honest with you. If the Dallas Cowboys, if this game comes away anywhere close, I promise you on game, you're going to say the Cowboys didn't play well. Because this is a team, 30th ranked defense. That means there's only 2 other defense team that are playing worse than them. You know what I'm saying? Individually, they have names, but they have a lot of old names because they want to free up those. A lot of those names that they have, other than Trey Flowers, they got him. That was their big-time guy, and they got Ashawn. They're trying to, but, at the same time, you look at the paper with them names, man, you would definitely think these dudes would be a lot better than what they
no doubt. I bet you if you gave Rod these guys.
God dang.
God. I guarantee it's how they being coached.
You got an OG guy out there that really like Snacks is your older guy. They don't get no. I wanted Snacks. What the hell?
If you gave Rod this these boys would be balling under Rod and how he teach hustle. And PFF had these guys graded before the season 5th in run stop defense just on the names.
Just on the names.
Just on the names. So they balling way under expectation. Like they are way, which also says to a good point to you, they also have a lot of upside. So it might be a situation where we taking it for granted, looking at, they're 26 in rush D, we should have their way. Yeah. And then they come out and play up to their expectation. Because like everybody, when they see the Dallas Cowboys, they put a put an asterisk on the calendar. If it's one game that you go come out and show out for your mama, it's going to be on Dallas.
Yeah, because your mama probably a Cowboy fan. This defense has 19 sacks. They're currently ranked 26, and Trey Flower has 5 of them. I'm going to be honest with you. In my notes from what I saw, one of the notes I wrote down is Dak Prescott should have a clean pocket. And if this is the game that your starting guard is going to come out, I think this is probably the best game for it. And to be honest with you, man, I don't think there's a lot of drop-off between Connor Williams and Xavier Sulafule. I think if Connor Williams is like a 5th-round pick, Xavier's probably starting. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just keep it real. I think they gave Connor Williams an opportunity. Why? Because of the pick. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of y'all be like, just trust the process. Trust Will McClay. Will McClay ain't Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Some of his picks here have been shaky. That's all I'm going to say. They've been shaky. Like this whole entire draft. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, someone's asking where's Connor McGorn. Connor McGorn is right where we told you he is, on the bench. He not playing. He got it. What they say on what's that movie?
He got injured. He injured his pick in the offseason.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Weirdos, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
He injured his pick.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. Once we figure that out with our offensive line, is gonna be better. Like we have too many. Like the offensive line is so about continuity and these guys playing against with each other, like where they put their feet at. Like they actually have to put their steps in their steps, like interlace their feet. Like it's simple stuff. If you ain't played with a guy, all those switching in and out, man, like that mess has an effect on your game. It has especially in the pass protection. Why? Because in the pass protection, if you accidentally step on the guy's foot, that's 300 pounds on somebody's foot. You know what he's gonna do? He gonna miss his block, and your quarterback gonna get sacked. And you'll probably break his foot. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot going along. So it's like, what I really want is like, bruh, do what you said you was going to do, Steven. Put the 5 best offensive linemen on the field at all times. That's what you said in 2017. I want Joe Looney to play. Like, what in the heck, man? Like, can he get some type of action, rep or something? Like, I know he's a backup center, but I know he's played guard and he's played some tackle before. So, I mean, I don't see why you can't. I mean, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Because if because put it like this, backing up Travis Fredericks in the Dallas Cowboys' mind is a wasted position because you're not going to play unless he absolutely is positively can't play. So it's a wasted position. So it's like it's a wasted active guy. Let him play some damn guard, man. Like, but yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Just stay up. I think that our offensive line should dominate these dudes, man. Like, I mean, I want Dak to throw the ball. Why? Because he's at 397 yards. But at the same time, man, Zeke should run all over these dudes. And
it's a lot of noise, and our back is against the wall. Like when our back is against the wall, Dallas plays better. Let's just be honest, right? Yep. Coming out that 3-5, we was looking like everything was over. This team responds to adversity well. So I would be very surprised if we came out flat. And like I wrote, an opinion piece on my page about Jason Garrett, and I pretty much slammed him to the floor. But it came out real quick from a lot of sources, and at this point it was 3 that said, boss, actually they with him. They with Jason Garrett. You know what I mean? It wasn't a fire. It was just it was just chili on the stove that overcooked a little bit. You know what I mean? It was kind of overplayed a little bit by the media. They're together. These guys want to come up and they want to win this game and they want to get right back in the hunt. And so like adversity and the way the media and you see how Jordan Lewis responded, it's almost like I'm looking at it like a boxing match, right? Where sometimes a fighter will get you in the last round, right? And you hear the crowd get into it like, ooh, right? And then the fighter sit down like, are you serious? Over that flurry, y'all really gonna give that person that attention? That's almost like what I feel like Dallas locker room is doing right now. Like, y'all really tripping because we lost that hard contest? You know what I mean? That's a playoff team. Right. And then West Coast hit me up. He was like, yeah, my sources are saying exactly what you said. I mean, what your sources said, So to me, the feeling seems like this loss actually corralled them a little bit.
Yeah, man. I mean, I try to keep my ears to the pavement as much as I can, try to get as much information as I can. And, if you guys ever hear, I said in the group earlier, if you guys ever hear me pushing, adamantly about something, it's because I try to get as much factual evidence as possible. And not even just like, I know a lot of people, the problems, you got to see it like this. When you're in a locker room, you know what the problems are.
Right.
And you know who the problem is.
Yep.
We're the only ones who are guessing. Why? Because we don't know. Like, yeah, I got some people, it's Jason Garrett, he's doing everything wrong, and he's this, and he's lost the locker room, and then you have factual evidence of people saying, no, that's not the case.
Yeah.
That's not actually the case.
Right, it's not the case, and the good thing is we not gonna tell the sources, Jay, but, and also it's good leadership, because one thing they did say, even if it was smoke, they said Dak told them, squash it. That came out through Mike Fisher. He said Mike Fisher told the whole team, squash all talking. And that's good leadership. And that's one thing. That's if it's one thing I want Jason Garrett to do after losses, it's to talk less. That would be the one thing I would say about his press conference.
You in Dallas, man.
I do understand that, and that's balanced. That's balanced. What you said is balanced because Jerry Jones want him to talk. Because basically, the more he talk, the more people talk, the more Jerry make money. So you got your head coach in a dilemma of, I want to do the Belichick, because what does Belichick do after losses? We on to Detroit. Hey, whatever happened? Do you think you're good at managing games, Bill? Yeah, we're on to Detroit. Yeah, and what about that Tavon? Who told Tavon a fair catch? Yeah, what we actually said is we was on to Detroit. That's exactly how he handled losses. Because he knows after losses, emotions are high and everything gonna be spinned up, emotions gonna be spinned up, and the fans gonna be panicking. So the more you talk in that environment, the more stuff go get out of control. So yeah, he is in a catch 22, but I still want him to talk less. I want him to be creatively able to talk less.
Yeah, man. That ain't happening in Dallas. As soon as you get out the locker room, there is a press conference room that's right beside it. It's all glass. You can actually stand there and watch him take the press conference. I feel so sorry for Dak, man, because Dak be like, after games, everybody else be going home. It'd take Dak damn near an hour and a half to get out the stadium because he got to get dressed, do his thing, do his regular family thing, and then he got to go in there and do that press conference. And it sucks too, because I mean every player has to do it. I mean every team has some type of feel of it, but I know that mess has to suck after a loss. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. That's the game. It's the game he played. So let's get on to these cornerbacks. But I mean, at the end of the day, before we go to the cornerbacks versus Coop and Jeezy, I think our offensive line is going to dominate. I think I would definitely give the win to the Dallas Cowboy offense when it comes to this, because the last thing I was going to say about this defensive line is when you have names like that and they're not performing, that lets me know that that's probably coaching too. You know what I'm saying? So or they're in the wrong defensive scheme. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully the Dallas Cowboy offense will take advantage of it. So next, let's move on to those cornerbacks. You got Darius Slay. You got Justin Coleman. You also have a guy named Rashard Melvin, number 29. You got three corners who are, Darius Slay is obviously the better of the two. Press corner. What I like to do a lot of my research is I'll read other teams, their articles and stuff that they write about their own teams. And Darius Slay, they call him a little bully. You know what I'm saying? So the thing about it, he's not a really big dude. But Darius Slay, we've seen him a few times. We've seen him a few times in Dallas. We've seen him in Dallas last year, I think, a year before last. And then we've seen him, so he is a good corner, but he's never been a guy that just shut anything down. But one thing they have been doing with Darius Slay is that he's been covering their number one. So I would definitely look for Darius Slay to be on Amari Cooper all night.
Yeah, and he's questionable. He has a neck issue, and that's good. So, I mean, and I don't think anybody at this point can hold Amari. I don't think anybody in the league can hold Amari. So, yeah, I don't think anybody can stay in front of him. I think he is the deadliest route runner right now in the NFL. I don't think anybody can hold him. I think the only person that maybe could have held Amari at this point of how he's playing is the old Deion Sanders. That, to me, that's the only person I can imagine right now really truly locking down or checking him. He is too explosive right now. Think what he did to Howard and all the people that have good reputations. He cutting them up. And he cutting them up with a lot of times we wasting the first parts of our series running the ball. Because in the Minnesota game, we spent the first 4 series running the ball. Dak didn't start throwing to the fifth series. And they both still ate them up, bro. So, I think this gonna be kind of just, and it's another thing, West Coast, you can clearly see the explosion go way down on offense when he's off the field. Those other guys make plays, but the explosiveness of those plays are not the same when Cooper's on the field, man. So I hope he follows him with his hurt neck. I really do, because he gonna really hurt him. You better have 100% of everything working when you go against Coop.
Yeah, man, and I'm also tell you the trickle-down effect is this. If you take your best corner and you throw him on Amari Cooper, I'm not tripping. Why? Because my second wide receiver, Michael Gallup, is probably better than every corner that's on your team outside of the guy who's going to be occupied by Amari Cooper. So that means Michael Gallup could get off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the drawback. That's the drawback from putting one of your guys, you know what I'm saying, putting your best guy, because you basically could take a guy right out the game. You know
right. Right on. Right on. To me, the biggest liability when I studied their defense, man, is the free safeties. They having major issues with both of them. And neither one of them was never really kind of like the types that's cover guys, especially one having Tracy having knee issues and Miles Killebrew. All of us liked him coming out of college because he was the hardest hitter and striker at the draft. His highlight was beautiful, but his coverage is nothing to worry about. So, to me, both safety positions are the liabilities. So as much 11 personnel as possible to try to draw mismatches, to me, would be kind of how to attack this team. where we spread them out and try to get those safeties that every now and then come out and cover like Cobb on the slot. This is the game to me to where Cobb should have his best game. This should, if Cobb is worth anything, this should be the game to where Cobb goes like off, not just off. I'm talking about off like the spray that repels bugs. I mean, he's supposed to kill this game. Like when you look at the matchups and the injury reports, this game screamed 2 people should eat. Cobb, Cooper. Yeah. They should go off. And this should be a 300 game for Dak.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think one of the sub wide receivers is gonna go out, but not necessarily Cobb. I think it's gonna be Jeezy, man, because they've been doing a good job of getting Cobb involved right now. So I think there's gonna be a resurgence of them trying to get Michael Gallup. Not necessarily just getting them touchdowns because he's doing a phenomenal job of doing that. But they like to do a lot of, if the safeties aren't good, I love it because they like to do a lot of those deep cross routes with Michael Gallup, and he's just floating up the middle. You know what I'm saying? So,
whoever played the most in the slot have an opportunity when I look at how, because remember that's when Gallup went off with the Rams. A safety got stuck on him, he killed him. Remember in the Rams game in the playoffs? So I'm expecting because every now and then base defenses get stuck out there and they can't get their personnel on the field, their nickels and stuff. I just think it's going to be some opportunities that's going to present themselves to where, to me, I'm just expecting this to happen because this happens every defense to where sometimes you can't get your personnel on the field and you just got to play, And I think that's going to happen a couple of times. And when that happens, it's going to be up for Dak to see it. Oh, you got a hurt safety on Cobb, or you got a hurt safety and Gallup in the slot. Oh, it's over. We finna get that. So I think we have some explosion opportunities on this defense.
Yeah, and my last thing on it too is another guy, Rashard Melvin. He's over the last 2 games he has not played well. Gave up over 100 yards last week in his last game, so number 29. So anytime you get Michael Gallup or especially Amari Cooper, if you get Amari Cooper on 29, take the shot. Take the shot. They don't, also, so some general notes that I wrote down was they don't rush the quarterback well. DBs don't really cover well outside of Darius Slay, and Dak should have a clean pocket. So, everything is supporting that Dak should have some big games. But more importantly, we should have splash plays, and that is plays over 20 yards on this defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There should be splash plays. This is definitely a defense where you would think the screen play would get you a big, pretty damn good jump. Good jump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why? Because the corners can't cover. That means when the covers can't come up, they can't cover. They probably can't tackle well. You know what I'm saying? And the screen. You know what I'm saying? The nice thing about that screen also is the defensive line. The defensive line, they're going to be getting whipped all day. So that one time, they're going to think they won. Why? Because the offensive line is going to release. And as soon as they come charging to the quarterback, Dak's going to flip the ball. Flip! Pollard. Because right now, Pollard has more of a chance of hitting a home run than Zeke. I'm just keeping it real. Pollard is going to catch the ball like this, and he's going to take it 80 yards.
Right. And Kermit asked a question. It's about next year, but it's regarding the offense. I want to address it real quick.
Oh, yeah, we good. We good with the DBs. They trash, and we should eat.
Yeah, we done. Yeah, but what's the chances, he said, of bringing back Cobb next year? I honestly feel like Cobb is going to have to earn it with a consistent season. So not just only in play, but also in his health, because that was the concern on why he's not in Green Bay. He had 2 years of injury history when he was in Green Bay. So Dallas is not going to bring back an old receiver unless he gives us a full 17 and he's making plays. And so far, Cobb has been making great plays. It's just, honestly, most of them been called back over other people's errors. Yeah. If his stuff wasn't called back, he would be slightly under Cooper in touchdowns. Real talk. So in terms of his effectiveness, Cobb has earned his money up to now, but we only slightly over halfway in the season. And we don't want his tire to blow 2 games from now. And then all of a sudden his whole career stock is blown because we're not going to pay him. We're not going to pay him if his tire blow. So he got to finish the season, be very strong in his finish as he's been up to now, and he might get another opportunity. Now, in the terms of the type of guy he is, everything about him says a Stephen Jones and a Gary type of guy.
Professional,
smart,
what I was going to say.
Ex-quarterback, I mean, who was the first person when they was outsides to really just take off?
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. It's single moments like that. As long as he can stay healthy, that reason why I think the Cowboys will bring him back.
Yep.
Because he's a smart player, and the Dallas
Very.
Cowboys, he's a very smart player, and you don't come across very smart players. So it's like as long as it's not money, he'll be back. That's what I believe.
One of my favorite parts of this game, West Coast, Dak was doing the audible to and then he was talking to Cobb, and Cobb pointed at what he saw, and he said, "Yep." I say, "Whoo!" See, them balls was on the same page because Dak was trying to audible and point to what he was seeing, and Cobb pointed at it and was like, and he said, "Yep." I said, that saved Dak time. He ain't got to communicate everything when your receiver's seeing the same thing. So Cobb intelligence and everything about him is just, can he stay healthy? If he stay healthy, I want him to stay. I really do.
Cobb almost has like a tight end mentality. Like he can catch nasty balls, he can catch dirt balls. All you really got to do is get the ball in his hand, and he literally turns into a little running back.
Yeah, and Nathan raised a good point. He did have some drops. Good point, Nate. I can't fight you on truth. His drops have been untimely.
I know it sounds like a lot.
And he had an ugly fumble.
Yeah, he had 2 drops and 1 fumble.
And that Giants game, that fumble was. But at the same time, it's like I said about Xavier Woods, and I've been consistent on my promise. If you give me an interception, I'll take 3 missed tackles.
Hell yeah.
for every interception, I'm like that with Cobb. I mean, if you keep exploding on the field, I'll take an occasional drop. Same thing with Cobb.
Heck yeah. I mean,
same thing with Cooper.
Julio Jones that dude drops some balls like a mug.
Just make it up with 2 touchdowns. I ain't got no problem with you.
Yeah, man. All right, man. So, shoot, man. Hey, the last thing we're going to get into tonight, man, before we get up out of here is these slow starts, man. Starting slow. A lot of people, I dropped a video on it earlier today, man, and I kind of gave you guys my 4 points and things I thought the Dallas Cowboys could do, and I kind of wanted to go through those, a little bit, man, kind of talk about those for a couple minutes, man. But before I do, Boss Cowboy, what are your thoughts, man, on the Dallas Cowboys starting slow?
Yeah, the thing about these slow starts is if you really look at them close, they have been for different reasons. So a lot of people, when you say slow starts, you automatically think we just coming out there lackadaisical. No, that's not happening. Sometimes the starts was slow because of mistakes, right? Drop balls and stuff like that, fumbles, stuff like that. The Green Bay game was a slow start because of mistakes, right? Then you see slow starts because of bad defense, right? This last game, the slow start was more so based on the style of offense and the script plays we came out with. We was force feeding Zeke. So it's different reasons why we started slow. So like, because if you get too generic, you'll get into a blame mode where it's, because sometimes it's offense, sometimes it's defense, sometimes it's coaching, it's all of it. It's just that at some point it needs to come together. Because really, when we started throwing, it was not slow. It's just that we started doing that too late versus Minnesota. So on the slow starts, I don't want to kind of get into because it was one thing that was a true pattern in 2017. The true pattern is that we made bad adjustments, but it's not really a pattern on these slow starts, really, if you really look close at it. You know what I mean? It's more so the whole team need to finally play a clean game, and then it won't be a slow start. So so the one clean game, to where both sides just came out banging, was Philly. So when both sides come out banging, to me, that's going to be the lack of the quote unquote slow start, right? You need both sides of the ball to finally get in mid-season. What time is it, West Coast, right now?
Week 11, damn near.
Shit, I mean, so it's week 11 right now. So the going saying is what? Mid-season form. So it's about time for these guys, especially with the last kick in their butt that they just got from Minnesota, to say, okay, it's time to lock in. Not just offense, not Dak, not Garrett, not D, not Chris Richards, everybody.
Yeah, man. And beyond, I mean, at this point, what's our current record right now, man? 5-4.
Yeah, we 5-4.
5-4. So at this point of the season last year, we were 3 and 6 because we lost to Tennessee first game with Amari Cooper, right?
We was 3 and 5. Yeah.
3 and 5. But I'm talking about week 11 because we lost that first game with Cooper.
And then we won the next one, and then we went on a run.
Yeah, then we lost.
And to the Colts.
So, I mean, the Dallas Cowboys, man, are obviously in a position to make a run. But, I mean, I think them first 8 games are important, man. But how you finish those last 8 games are probably the most important games of your season.
Yeah, November not the most important. December is.
December is. You know what I'm saying? So, the Dallas Cowboys just need to, focus on winning the games that are in front of them. And, it's okay to lose to playoff teams, man. But at some point, you got to start beating these teams. You know what I'm saying? Because, there's a trend that's going to be, there's film that's being put out on you on how to beat you. You know what I'm saying? And, I'm looking at this, right now, but I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Like, the only people that I'm really focusing on right now is the Philadelphia Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only team I'm focusing on outside of the Dallas Cowboys because right now is what that's what our playoff is against. We're in a 1-team playoff race against them. You know what I'm saying? But something that and he on the line right now, Coach AJ, I hit him. I was talking to him earlier, and we was talking earlier about starting slow, and he made a good point about just better play calling, like calling draws and more screens. Why? To get those linebackers honest, man. Like a lot of times we don't make these other our offense. We don't make these other defenses think. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I'm saying. Part of the reason why Sean Lee is so smart is because offenses put him in a position to have to think, and he makes the right call. Where it's like, bro, we're not making these we're making them react. Why? Because it's going that way. It's going that way. No, it should be going this way. Wait, time out. Now it's going that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, make these, like, they're just, like, literally, I said it on my show today. I mean, on my video today. Like, these linebackers are just read and go. Like, they're not even stopping and having to think about anything. Why? Because there's nothing to think about. I saw it on film. You're doing it right now. You're doing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, bro. If Noah Brown comes stand behind the tight end, you're running the ball. I don't give a damn what you say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we all know that.
Right, and if he releases for a route, he's easily covered. So sell out on the run anyway.
Easy way, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So man, like the Dallas Cowboys, man, that play calling has to be, and also another thing we were talking about too is, man, something that I've been saying for a long time is, man, you gotta 2 things when it comes to your quarterback. 1, in that red zone, man, you gotta let that man make decisions, man. You gotta let him make decisions. If you're gonna pay someone $35 million and you can't trust him to make a decision in the red zone, man, then what are you doing, Dallas Cowboys? Think about this. Last week, Dak Prescott 0 rushing attempts. 0 rushing attempts. You know what I'm saying? Like we haven't won a game this year where Dak didn't have at least a rushing attempt. Like, why? Because guess what? There's no creativity, none. Your play action, you know what that means, bro? You're really either gonna do it. You're gonna probably throw the ball. Your RPOs, that means, think about this. We were running RPOs and throwing the ball. Like, we were just doing it just to do it. Like, the purpose of the fake is to set up something. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna be obvious and run the ball on first down, bruh, why don't you, okay, I'm gonna run the ball 3 series on first down, but on that 4th series, I'm gonna play action and hit you on top.
Right. Like, we didn't do that at all.
We don't do none of that.
We didn't do that at all. Not against Minnesota. Yes. Now, we've done that other games.
Like, we're trying to play honest offense against, and these defenses, like, bro, what are you talking about? We shifting and moving.
I actually think this game was more ego, bro, than actually, like, because like, you raised the point when we was talking in private. They talked about that Jerry and Steven was a part of the game planning. Like, there is no way that anybody honestly looked at the scouting report of Minnesota and thought that the way to beat them was to run at them. So it's like some of this has to do with, like, our front office need to get out the way too. Like we all just kind of generically blame Jerry, but some of this is also his influence. And I really believe that, like, and this is one thing that's good about the public voices that have been happening this whole week. It's been a lot of information laid out about the strength of Dak's arm. And the case that Dak made versus Minnesota almost obligates them to come into the future with a different mentality because they've been treating Dak like he has training wheels. This game was the perfect game to say, the game we just lost. Take the damn training wheels off Dak and let him lead this team. Yeah. The whole pressure, the whole voices. Yeah, he was already doing it. So it's almost like this past loss could be one of the best losses in the season because we have been since the first game in an identity crisis. We came out there and Dak we had a perfect passing rating. By week 4, we was leaning right back on Zeke because you have two ways that work. In the end, this is what we all want. We want this coaching to evolve to the point to where they say, we can beat you two ways. We're going to pick what works best versus our opponent. So if it's one game to where Dak just handing it off and he looks like a game manager, well, that works. So that's what we are doing. But if it's where, okay, we have a Minnesota type front, or we have the Saints type front, or we have another team like the Redskins, who's obviously built for us and drafted for us and got multiple first rounders to counter how we built our team, it's throwing time, and we have to be at that mind state, in my opinion, West Coast and everybody that's listening, by the next 3 weeks. And if we're not gonna be prepared for the playoffs. We gonna get in there and blow it because we can't be one dimensional on either side. We can't be too Dak drunk and we can't be too Zeke drunk.
Yeah, man, and that's you're absolutely right, man. That's a great point to end the story. My boy Nathan James says, "I think we beat the Pats. Y'all laugh now, but watch. I think Nathan, you on a Cowboy show. Who gonna laugh at you thinking you gonna beat the Patriots, bro?"
No, we with you on that, my brother.
Bro. We definitely on you on that. Michael says exactly. They have to be design runs, not RPO. And also, they don't got to be runs by, oh my God, this deep tackle is about to freaking rip my arm off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to be schemed runs. Why? Because Dak is a guy. Like, if you go look at, I wish somebody would do the film, man. Dak Prescott utilization in college versus Dak Prescott utilization in pros. It's ridiculous, man. He's a totally different quarterback right now versus what he was in college. You know what I'm saying? It makes no sense because the weapons he had in college are nowhere near what he has right now. You know what I'm saying? Dak been playing with a bunch of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and some of us need to get off of these old talking points that's been long.
He was always the leading rusher at Mississippi State, too. That's cold. Like, he always was either number 1 or number 2 in rushing.
I'm getting ready to talk about another talking point because Larry Sosa said teams are smart. Stop Zeke. Dak can't beat you can't beat you on his own. That's an old talking point that's been long disproven. Like, what happened the first 3 games? Zeke wasn't heavily involved until Miami. What happened week 17? What happened when Zeke was suspended and Dak won 3 out of the 6 games? So it's like, actually, at this point, Dak has actually won more games without Zeke. So it's like we got to stop saying what the media says and actually start looking as Cowboy fans with our own eyes, because there is no way possible, unless you're just still talking like the media teaches you how to talk, that you still should be saying that Dak can't beat you with his arm. Dak, by most categories and most experts,
can I say this, man?
Oh, real quick, I'm almost finished. I just want to finish my point.
Go look at the damn throws from the Minnesota game. Like, I don't give a damn.
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say.
Like, bro, he ain't got no control over the defense giving up how many damn points. Like, did you see that throw to Randall Cobb? Like,
man,
you don't
crazy.
slap yourself.
And then
the throw. Want to talk about that for 5 minutes, man. You better knock it off. Like, he don't watch the games, man.
The 3 throws, the 3 throws to Cooper, man.
That dude, 3 of them dimes, bro. You ain't doing like
dimes.
Like, let's just be real, bro. Like, someone to say this statement, oh, he can't beat you with his arm, bro. Ain't nobody beating you with their arm. Like, nobody's beating with their arm. But Tom Brady won. Go look at his win. He beat Buffalo by 3. Like, come on, man. Like, that is the only one that has these imaginary expectations.
And then some of this is
with his arm.
Yeah, because guess what they starting to do now, West Coast? Guess what the media have totally flipped on? Because this is what we
Lamar Jackson can't beat you with his arm. I bet you right now he can't beat you with his arm.
Check this out real quick. Guess who the media has flipped to now as the bad guy?
Who?
Feet.
Yeah, no.
Because see, this is one thing we always got to remember. In Dallas, somebody go be the bad guy. They just trying to get us fans to join along in the hype. So now that the new talking point is Zeke got paid $90 million and he's not doing what he was paid to do.
This one.
Wait, are you out your mother? I didn't say it. I ain't say it. But come on, man. This dude is on pace for 1,400 yards.
Thank you, Jamez. Jamez smacked him. Thank you, Jamez. Like, cause man, I hate that narrative, man, that people put. Oh, he hasn't beaten. No, like, first off, it's not Dak's job to beat a team. It's the Dallas Cowboys' job to beat a team. And if you don't get that, if you don't get that, that's like, those are the kind of statements that I know from people who've never actually played football. And I'm not saying that you can't have rational thoughts and have rational conversation if you've never played. But I'm just saying, if you've never played, you will never understand the concept that it is not one person's job to beat a team. Like, think of that oxymoron of a statement. He has not beat a team. Well, isn't he on a team? So why wouldn't he be beating a team? Shouldn't it be a team beating a team?
Right.
Like, that's an oxymoron. How is one person responsible for beating an entire team?
Yeah, it's crazy. Standard. It's a God standard put on Dak, and then other quarterbacks have human standards. Yeah, and that's what it is. And it's media driven. It's media driven because just watch it lately. As Dak rises,
like Tom Brady ain't beating nobody with his arm right now.
They start to point at Zeke, and Zeke is on pace for 1,400 yards, and we got our own fans saying he's slacking.
Yep.
No,
that's why I be saying, because they be doing the eye test. They be looking at the eye test. No, that's just my opinion. Well, don't post your opinion on social media. Like, this is my thing. We should have a new rule. If your opinion is not a fact, don't post it on social media. Why? Because I'm that dude that be like, there be so many people. Oh, Zeke, is it my opinion? Is it my thing? Or am I just tripping? Or does Zeke not look the same? You're tripping. I'm the guy that comes on the post and be like, you're tripping.
Yeah, you tripping. Yeah, you tripping.
Why? Yeah. Because Zeke is on pace to have one of the best seasons of his career. And remember this, right? What type of running back? Go look in the history of the NFL. Consistently rushes for 1,400 yards every year. Like, the fact that he does
we're talking about a top 3 all-time star.
All-time running back to do that. Like,
I'm talking about in history.
In history.
A top 3 all-time start, and we complaining.
Like,
man,
Zeke is messing with history right now.
Right now.
And you're talking about, he doesn't look. Man, stop it right now. Stop it right now.
So we all got to realize that the media is going to always try to play us against each other. That's the whole design. They want everybody that was pro Dak getting paid to be mad when we see them talk about Dak. They also want everybody that was mad when Zeke got paid to then buy into this false illusion that he's on a decline.
Yeah, bro. And you have that same narrative. People that say, well, we paid him all this money. Like, I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. Like, paying a person, if I pay you making $12 an hour at your job right now, okay, and you're loading 12 boxes. If I pay you $25 an hour, is your ability to load boxes going to be more because I paid you more? No. Why? Because you can only physically pick up these boxes. Right? So this whole narrative, we paid him $90 million. Like, if that's the case, why don't we just give everybody $90 million if they're going to play to this elite? That's not how it works. And you got to think like this. You don't think other teams know that we paid him $90 million and that is the focal point of our team? The Dallas Cowboys are still labeled as a running team. So every person's objective going to play the Dallas Cowboys is to stop Zeke. Now, you have 16 opportunities to do it. Guess what? It's going to happen 3 or 4 times. Out of 16, it's going to happen 3 or 4 times. Like, it's just going to happen.
Right on.
But at the end of the season, just like you said, Boss Cowboy, you're going to look at all the yards and you're looking at it and you're going to be like, damn, Zeke got a really good season.
Oh, man, no doubt.
Look at Saquon. Saquon has like 6 games under 50 yards. And you look at his stats and you're like, he's a pretty damn good running back.
No, you know what they actually say? A whole lot of them saying Saquon is better than Zeke. I'm like, Saquon
he got like 6 or 7 games under 50 yards. Zeke has never done that in I think he has like 3. He has like 3 in like
He definitely
4
has
years.
the upside, but he hasn't hit it yet. I mean, you got to do it. I like your 40. I like how it's pretty when you run, but until you do it, you ain't better. And then who more complete? Like, it is no running back as complete as Zeke. Not one. You not go get one running back with Pollard behind him that's going to go out and lay out somebody.
Yeah, and
like Zeke.
And I'm gonna tell you something else that Saquon can't do. That this is a non-tangible factor, but it's just real, man. Zeke can't. I mean, not Zeke. Saquon Barkley can't take an offense to another level by himself. Zeke can. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. And that was tested last year.
They have games
with the
Saquon
offensive line.
Yeah, Saquon Barkley 187 yards from scrimmage, and they lose by 14. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's like, I mean, we saying this not to beat up people, but it's more so to say, hey, you know, the benefit about listening to us is we independent and we not media driven. They already know that it's ratings in line on us. They know that, so they gonna lie. And it's up to us, because nobody was saying Zeke was declining when he was killing Philly 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. And nobody was saying that when he killed New York last week. I mean, destroyed them. I mean, dogged them like Mike Tyson. Nobody said anything, but they wait until a team is built for us, and then they use those games where we were stubborn and we stubbornly ran him into strong fronts, and the offensive line was bad and Williams' knee was bad, and then they create a narrative. Nah, you got to be smarter. You got to say, you know what? I'm not going to look at one game to make a full analysis of a player. I'm going to look at the pattern of that player. And the pattern of Zeke, if you're really watching Zeke, this is actually one of Zeke's best years. And one thing that nobody's counting, he did it without a training camp. Like, go look at other running backs. Yeah, he's doing it without a training camp. Are you crazy?
Unheard of.
That's unheard of. Go look at some of the best backs that had to hold out and see how they starts were. And go look at their own testimonies. A lot of them talking about, I didn't get in the rhythm until way past halfway point of the season. He's already at almost pacing 1,400. And we mad?
Off of 3 days of practice, man.
Come on, bro. So listen, Zeke is fine. Zeke is more than likely go way off this game.
Yeah. Say, man, I can love it, man. But, hey, man, you guys already know what it is, man. We're going to get up out of here. We've been on here an hour and 30 minutes. Boss Cowboy, man, let them know where they can find you at, man.
Yeah, definitely at Boss Cowboy Sports. And we got a lot of stuff popping on my page right now and Twitter. So on the Twitter, it's going to be Cowboy_Boss. It's going to be a little bit backwards. But go to my page. It's popping because we got a lot of information on it right now. I dropped some articles. I got a lot of stuff going on, you know, and then obviously I do the recaps. And shoot, I mean, based on how me and West Coast are talking today, we could probably drop about 4 articles. I'm going to drop it on my page and his page. So you're going to be able to get it anywhere.
Yep. Hey, man, you guys already know what it is. I got some I got some videos that are going to be dropping in the morning. Some stuff that's going to jog you up and get you all riled up. So make sure you guys support it, man. You guys already know what it is, man. Never look down because the stars up. Peace.